The disconnected man is a disease. It's a dis-ease. And he is definitely bringing to himself or to herself a disease. So when you are on a certain level of frequency and you are beyond the human experience, meaning you know yourself, you know thyself, you went through the dark night of the soul, then your intuition is heightened, your vibration is high, and you have to be able to discern. You're actually able to discern, but you have to believe and trust your intuition and your discernment and discriminate when you sense the energies. Energies don't lie. People do. And you have to be very vigilante, right? Cautious, not to drop back, because you get yourself immersed into a certain level of frequency, actually below that, below your own. So you have to be able to choose which is more complementary to you. It's not that they are not complementary to someone else. They can be, very much so. But you have to remember that at this point, when you become the pillar of light, when you already realized your God self, you already viewing the world as a God, knowing that all has its place, all has its purpose, and a lot of things. I mean, actually, everything is a paradox. So you have to accept that, and you already accepted that. And at the same time, simultaneously, you need to know what is your current, and not to be pulled out of it, because you will meet a lot of pretender will be, a lot of them are very charming people. A lot of them are, they don't even know that they're pretenders, okay? So it's not about that you hate them. We're not suggesting that, but you just need to know. And when your intuition is heightened, you will know. You will sense the energy of them. And you just need to know what energy field are you willing to play. Because when you, I mean, this is the same as you want to save a drowning person, they will pull you down. So if you want to save somebody and you pick up again the savior mode, the savior frequency, because let's say they pretend to be a victim, they pretend to give, and they give you the soap story, let's say a woman or a guy or whatever. And sometimes both of you play this game out because you have past lifetimes where you've been together, and somehow basically it really, basically you're freeing yourself, each other, through the same illusionary role and pretenses. And sometimes it's so funny because each one of you will trigger within the other the pretender. And if you don't stay conscious, because you get so sidetracked by the beauty of another, meaning you sense their core diamond, and when you sense their core diamond, because this was always my case, I was always sensing the core diamond in everyone. I've seen them always as their core diamond. This is what I've seen. But their human counterpart, which is not the conscious part of theirs, right? It's not full consciousness, still playing out their underlying conditioned selves. And the way they act or react, it's all that which is unconscious because they don't know themselves, or it's just, mutually triggering within the other the same thing. So basically, of course, there's a purpose, you bringing that vibration into your experience, because you are here to dissolve that and actually free each other to become whole within yourselves, both of you. So you are not here to become half and stupidify your evolutionary process and go and lower it down to a level which you had been, 300 years ago or 500 or whatever, it doesn't matter, or many lifetimes. But now you are here to make it conscious, not to get lost in the illusion of half finding the other half. There is no fucking other half anymore, because we are here to become self-sovereign and whole within ourselves. And we are no longer stupidifying, lowering the vibration of another. I am not saying that you cannot meet so damaged people who they don't even know how ignorant they are. Some of them are very good in mirroring you. A lot of you will meet old-time acquaintances from old timelines, old lives. And but some of you is awake more and the other is not as awake. You are key swapping, and basically, let's say I had one of my meetings where I was not clear on my romantic trauma and self-deception stuff, and he was not clear on family issues. I was already clear on family issues, family related, parent stuff, ancestor lineage and all that stuff. I already cleared that one for myself. I already cleared the so-called career stuff and whatever, because, I was not working already for a few years. He was still this work fanatic, still being in the 3D system. And at the same time, right from the start, I sensed his pretentious ways. And after a while, I just felt, I was meeting my earlier selves 12 years ago. It was amazing. I could not believe it. I thought, holy cow, I was exactly like that 12 years ago. I understand his ways. I understand his pretentious ways, because I used to do those things. And he was at his first chapter of his spiritual awakening. He was 33 years old. I was 55. We were 22 years apart. And I was at my last chapter. I was in the process of completion, transitioning into my rebirthing my powerful self. And he's just starting his spiritual awakening, actually. And so that was amazing. So, all of your meetings have a purpose of deeper understanding and deeper learning. But at the same time, when you feel you drop down from so far away, because it's kind of like your frequency is kind of balancing itself out. But I had such a deep drop. I had to dip into my earlier levels of a really incredible lower level of consciousness. And I thought, what the fuck am I doing down here? And it was an amazing thing, but I had to find something deep down there. And that was the self-deception stuff. And I had to deal with that. I had to deal with my sexual abuse, recover from that. And for that purpose, I had to dip down, because exactly that dip was really dissolving those earlier childhood and previous lifetimes traumas. And I had a vagina trauma I had to get rid of. I had some other ancestral sexual abuse, sexual slavery, and a lot of other stuff that we all women went through in different lifetimes, past lifetimes, maybe current lifetimes, and it was just, it had to be re-triggered. And then, of course, I received the information that he was the debris cleaner. He was the debris cleaner of my romantically unfinished business. Okay? So it was the relation towards masculine energy and towards man altogether. And that encounter did bring up a lot of hate for man, a lot of anger for man, a lot of unresolved anger and issues of all sorts. And basically, this was the whole point of that encounter. There are no encounters which are coincidental. No, there are no thing like that. Everything has a purpose. So anyway, once the debris is cleaned, because let's say you cleaned your family already, you cleared your friendship stuff, you cleared all kinds of financial stuff, you cleared a lot of other stuff, but you were not clear on the romantic part. And that was the last thing. So, and interestingly enough, I was watching a movie. I don't know how it was, because I watched it in Hungarian, but anyway, it was The Hut. Maybe there is one, a very famous book, and then they made a movie out of it. And so this guy who loses her daughter, the 4-year-old or the 5-year-old, whatever, and then how he feels guilty for it and all that stuff, and he just cannot get over that loss of a child. And then how he goes back and how he has to basically clear all of that. You have to go back to the pain in order to cure it. So pain is the cure. Pain is the cure. So I know nobody wants to go back to the pain, because everybody wants to resist the pain because they don't want to go through it again. So this what makes the difference between the spiritually committed person and recovering from and awakening from her sleeping, because she and he will put himself through pain again in order to move forward and really awaken and leave suffering behind. So you have to have this self-commitment to your own awakening. It's once you start this, and this is what your goal is, because this is actually you're going to become the goal itself. There are no other goals after that. This is what you want. You want to free yourself. You want to free yourself. You want to get to know yourself. You want to get to be the most intimate you ever had been with yourself after so many lifetimes. This is your rebirth. This is your resurrection. This is your everything. It becomes everything. There will be nothing during that time that will be more important to you, because all will fall apart. I'm telling you, the house of cards will fall apart. All the lies, all the pretenses, all the insincerity, all whatever. And that's why you will be able to sense eventually everything that is a lie, because you already discovered your own truth. So when you discovered your own truth, you will be able to sense all of the lies and pretenses of anybody around you. So your spiritual gifts will come back to you, which is given, but that is the thing. You got to get into soul discovery, your own soul. You got to get to know yourself, and you will go through pain. If somebody tells you that the awakening process is not painful, they did not awake. They did not, I'm telling you. It is a painful freaking process. I don't want it to be painful. Nobody wants it to be painful, but it is, because you're going through all those unresolved, fucked up shit. Your trauma bonds with your abusers. Of course, you did not know that you were abusing yourself, because you kept putting yourself into those situations. You kept yourself in situations like that. Maybe at the time you did not have another way, maybe, or maybe you even took yourself out of it, but you get killed for it. So there is this lot of issue that coming up. You don't know, you will go through the same pain. And it's an amazing journey, but not a painless journey, okay? So anyway, this was another segment for today, and I hope that it gives you some more clarity. It does not mean that you will not have to go through this, or maybe you already went through this, and then this is just a confirmation of your own processing, your own experiences, and say, oh my gosh, this happened to me. This is exactly, holy shit, now I understand it more. So it's just giving you a little bit more incentive, and it's just, understand more. That's all. That's all. It is my truth. But since we are sharing our own truth, our truth becomes, in a way, an assistance to another to maybe clarify and understand more of their own. It's not that we say this is, it has to be your truth. We're not saying that there is no other truth this is, because there is. And each one of them are equally valid. And we're only sharing our own truth. Because sharing our own truth is it's kind of like being an ascension guide. It's like those ambassadors that we are, who are embodying our own truth, and we are sharing it honestly and openly within ourselves. So we are being in self-integrity and being transparent and honest with ourselves. And at the same time, we're doing the same thing out there externally. So it's the microcosmos and the macrocosmos. We are honest and transparent and authentic within and without. And this is the whole thing. It's like we're balancing this out. We are not showing anything else out there or out for you, which is not within. It's the same thing. It becomes this equally honest expression within ourselves and externally as well. So all that. So it becomes equally balanced. I'm honest with myself and I'm honest out there. And if you think of me less because I am open or I am honest or authentic, well, then so be it. Then you are a liar. You're still lying to yourself. You are still, not honest. So as I said to that particular encounter and that person, I said, I am open. I'm open about my feelings. I express them because I no longer will swallow them for your comfortableness and convenience. And you are meeting me with secrecy and lockdown self. Sorry, openness cannot meet and join secrecy. Honesty cannot meet with manipulation and lying. And you are a liar. You are not honest. You are not open. You do not communicate openly with me. When I ask a straightforward question, you are coming with hidden stuff. You are not honest. You are not wanting to be open and vulnerable. So, it cannot be a match. Openness cannot meet secrecy. Learn that. And when you meet somebody who is not openly communicating, but pretending, you know that you have nothing got to do with that energy anymore and you just have to move forward. You only met for you to test your own water, to test and really, for me, it was a great learning plus dissolving certain things. But at the same time, I knew everything up front, and it was a really, really strong feeling of intuition, of that I'm meeting a liar, and I felt I could not trust that person. And exactly like coming into trusting your full intuition, your highest educational system. I cannot really say it enough times. And your highest educational system is your leading edge. And this is the tool of the multidimensional self. You are going to lead yourself with your intuition, which equals your inner knowing, and that will be your empowerment. And if you go against your intuition or you second guess your intuition, you are taking your power away because you still believe to the words of other people or their pretenses and rather rely on external happenings or whatever, senses, like your physical eyes or physical ears and what people say, than trusting your inner guidance system. And this was the whole thing. You got to be so strong. You got to be so stable in trusting your own guidance system in the physical realm, because that is the one that will guide you. And, you will never rely on people's words anymore, because people's words, is just please, So especially disconnected people, because disconnected people are not awakened people. Disconnected people are on a lower level of frequency, and you should never pair up in any circumstances with a lower level of frequency, because they will bring you down. It's a drowning person who is actually don't know how to support himself with his source energy, so he's going to take you on. And you will feel it. You will feel it in your third chakra. I felt it the first 2 weeks. I even a week after that. But, then it became constant. And when I closed the tube, he was writing like numerous, messages. Oh, what happened in the energy field? Something got really screwed up. I said, screwed up what? In what way? Oh, it got disturbed. It's somehow, there is a problem with that. I said, what, in mine or in yours? Well, I mean, it's not coming. I said, I know, because I closed it. Because you were sucking my energy, you asshole. So this is the thing. Basically, this is how great you're gonna get. You will know if that is beneficial to your energy and to your field, or it is not beneficial. Because maybe you wanted to help that person, which is also getting back into the savior mode. You don't want to do that. Maybe because you felt that, the funny thing is you are unconditional love. And when you are unconditional love, you love everybody. You see the beauty in them, their core diamond, and you see their potentials, but they are not their potentials yet. They have a lot of issues, a lot of unresolved anger, a lot of unresolved stuff in them. They're just awakening. They just started. You just activated them. And then, you guys triggered each other for certain reasons, but not to become a pair. Okay? Because he's so much lower, or she's so much lower, you are so much higher, and it's just frequency. You have to learn discernment. You have to discriminate, because it is for your own sake. It is for your own safety. And if you really want to finish this up, and if you really want to come and complete your own ascension process and your own awakening process, then you cannot go back and lower yourself for certain people, because this is not why you are here. You have a much bigger task, a much bigger thing that you have to do here. And you're not here for one person. You're not here, unless you say, I'm here for myself. But you have to bring through your gifts, whatever it is. And maybe that gift is having a peaceful, beautiful, luxurious, full enchilada life. I call it the Saint Germain frequency. And, maybe another time I'm going to talk about that. And so it is all about you becoming your own savior. You're not here to save anybody else. You guys are here maybe to trigger each other in a way for certain part of your awakening process has to come and clear and dissolve certain things, but not pairing up with a not awakened person, with not, and with a disconnected person. So it's very important, very important. So, because it's a disconnected person is in lack, so much more lack than you actually are. Otherwise, you would not have experienced a drop in your frequency that much. Okay? But we are not lingering there. We're just knowing what we had to learn and go. And then comes the next thing. You don't have to dip yourself into something you can already know. When the first moment you feel that something is off, please trust your instinct and please trust your intuition and get the fuck out of there. Because you don't have to keep retesting yourself, with people. You know it right away. Get out. Get out, get out, get out, and keep going, keep going, keep going. So you just have to keep going. You don't have to stop for other people. You don't have to whatever, nothing. And everything happens for a certain reason. And it all happens, whatever. Sometimes it's so funny because I don't know why, but on my phone, there is this occasional message that maybe I see once a year or it's like really very seldomly, but there is this message that comes up and I don't know how it comes up or why is it coming up, but it says, nothing to undo. And when I finish a certain part of my evolutionary process, or even with this encounter after a few months, it came up and it said, nothing to undo. So everything was according to schedule. And you just had to experience that in order to free yourself more. Sometimes we have to step back in order to step forward, okay? So this is what it is, because there is something. If you go down, there is a purpose, because you have to find something down there. And this is why you do it. So thank you for listening. Talk soon. Bye.